Merry Christmas! I thought this would be fun to do a little video next to the tree that is not decorated yet, even. My motivation, like, has... I tell you, last year, I had up the tree, the lights, the ornaments, and everything, like, so quickly after Thanksgiving. And then this year, I'm like, But I'm, like, totally down for making a ton of treats and handing those out to friends. A few of the people I'm subscribed to have done these Christmas tags, and I think they're a lot of fun. And because Christmas is my favorite holiday, and so I thought I would do the same thing, but put a little spin on it. Instead of like answering questions one by one, I thought I would just kind of have like a chatting session with you and maybe answer all those questions and maybe not. This year for Christmas, we are just staying home. Actually, the past several Christmases we have stayed at home, especially since moving here to Texas. In Arizona, it was a little different. I had family closer by, and so sometimes we would go and spend Christmas over with family, and that's always nice. But it's been nice too being here in Texas and kind of just making our own traditions and also incorporating traditions that my husband and I our families had while we were growing up. It's great too because we'll get together with other families and we'll have like Christmas dinner or Christmas Eve dinner. It's nice to know that even though I don't have family close by, I still have like a nice little community of friends that feel like family. And that's special to me during this holiday season. In years past, it seems like we'll have our big Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve. I want to say growing up, it was Christmas Day that we had our big Christmas dinner, unless something was going on, then we'd bump it to Christmas Eve. I can't remember. So if any of my siblings are watching, let me know. So we're doing that this year, and then we're gonna be with a family close by for Christmas dinner, and they're gonna have their whole family there, and they invited us, and I feel so honored because I guess I always figure if you're having your whole family there, you're gonna have a house full. And so for them to consider us and to want us to be there really touches my heart, and I feel like I'm part of their family. We don't know exactly what we're gonna be making for Christmas Eve dinner yet. We're still in debate. By the way, I'm hoping that I have this up and edited by Christmas Day. It might be Christmas Day, but I want it by Christmas Day. That's why I'm doing it chatty. I'm not doing it question by question because I like to make it like perfect and have like the questions, you know, all up on the screen and then the questions down below. And what was I oh yeah, so we don't know exactly what we're gonna be making for Christmas Eve dinner. We're not sure. Sometimes we do the traditional Christmas dinner, other times we don't. And I want to say the majority of times we don't, unless we're like grouping together with another family and they do the more traditional. We might do something more like venison steaks. There's just a lot of like things that we can do, and so we don't limit ourselves to just the traditional Christmas dinner. We like to kind of just do lots of fun stuff, and that's what I like too, is we'll make a huge dinner. It won't be the traditional Christmas dinner, but it'll be like Lady and Mr. Hunter's family's dinner. So growing up for Christmas Eve, after dinner, we would have this Christmas Eve program where we would read from the Bible and like sing songs in between like each readings of the Bible, and it was honestly like torture because after it was done we got to have a kind of a dessert, which was either fudge or it was what we called cocoa scotch clusters, which are Rice Krispie treats covered in chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, and a peanut butter mix. Oh my gosh, so good. Maybe I should make some of those. I'm like adding to the list of things to make, like treat-wise. I just want to eat all the treats. And then we would finally get to open up our Christmas present. And I felt like that was absolute torture, that we had to like go through these scriptures that we read last year, Mom. We sang these same songs last year. Can we just open up our present? Can we just go, oh yeah, we remember last year just fine. We remember how long it took last year too. In our little family, in my little family, what we do is we will talk a little bit about the meaning of Christmas, and then we will open up presents. And the kids have kind of caught on to the tradition that I've started, and that is they get new pajamas every year. And I try to make them themed. This year it has a theme, and would any of you guys be surprised if I told you that this year's theme for the pajamas is plaid? It started with the Black Friday shopping that I did with my sister-in-law and her friends, and I saw my daughter's pajamas first, and they're plaid, and then I saw my size pajamas, and they're plaid, and so I just went all out in plaid. So we're having plaid jammies. That's what they'll be opening for Christmas Eve. We wear them to bed, and then the next day for Christmas, we wear the jammies all day, and we totally lounge. Except for when we go to our friend's house for Christmas dinner, then we'll dress up and we'll look nice. But I love just lounging all day in my Christmas jammies and munching on candy, and it's like we live off of candy that day. It's that day I don't, like, I'll make them breakfast, I'll do that stuff, but if they just want to eat all day nothing but candy, I'm totally down with it. That's fine. They see the dentist. The first white Christmas that I remember was when I was 12 years old, and it was in Arizona, and it was quite a surprise considering it didn't snow very much where I lived. I remember I got these corduroy pants, these black corduroy pants for Christmas that year. And I remember going outside in the snow wearing my brand new corduroy pants. I loved them a lot. And I remember those corduroy pants fading like that and then turning like a purple. Not cool. Some of my favorite Christmas songs are Carol of the Bells. I love that song. I love all the harmony. Like, for the longest time, I didn't even know what they were saying, what the lyrics were. I finally looked up the lyrics several years ago and was like, oh, that's what it is. I like Little Drummer Boy. That song really touches me and makes me want to cry. As does Away in a Manger. The second and third verse brings me to absolute tears. I love I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas too. I love any song that Michael Bublé can sing to me. Growing up, I grew up in a rather large family, and so we never had a real Christmas tree. My guess is because if we wanted extra gifts, we had to save money in other places, and so we always had a fake tree. And it was never anything I thought much about until I went to a friend's house and they're like, oh, this is a real Christmas tree. And I remember thinking that was weird because I grew up with just fake Christmas trees. And then it made sense that you would have a real Christmas tree. You know, this is a fake tree. We have yet to have a real tree. And it's not because we can't afford it or we don't want one. I hear things about how they shed, they're a mess to clean up, they're a fire hazard come the end of December, you know, and you're worried that if you keep the lights on too long that you're gonna burn something. And so I guess it's the paranoia in me too, where I'm like, no, we're good. You know, we've had this tree for 3 years maybe. I like it personally because it's narrow. I don't like the really wide trees. I like the tall, narrow trees, and it could be because I feel like it just takes up too much room. And so I want the festive Christmas tree, but I don't want it taking up so much room that we feel like we have to crawl around it just to get from one room to the next. That way too, when I buy a box of Christmas lights to add to it, it goes farther than it would on the really wide trees. But I'm not saying I'm knocking the wide trees. The wide trees are gorgeous. I just prefer the more narrow Christmas trees. How about you guys? Do you guys like the more wide trees, or do you guys like the more narrow trees? Do you like them tall? Do you like them short? Do you like them with white bulbs? Or do you like them with colored bulbs? I grew up with colored bulbs, and I thought that was just kind of what you did. And it's interesting how we just perceive things when we grow up that it's like, oh, we always have a fake tree with colored bulbs. I felt too with the white light bulbs that the ornaments that I put on, it makes them really shine and it gives them more color than color bulbs would do. Because I don't want the lights to necessarily be what the eye catches. I really want the ornaments to be. In the first little bit of our marriage, the first few years, I would do kind of themes. I would have blue bulbs with red garland, with this, with that, you know, and it would look a specific way and it would be really pretty. And then of course as we get kids and then you know, we make these ornaments, we buy these ornaments and stuff, and each like ornament carries a special memory of each year. I just love having a very whimsy tree, which I'm sorry you can't see. If I had all put up all the ornaments, which I'm having a feeling that it's not gonna happen this year, but if I do, I will take pictures and I'll put them up for you, because every ornament just holds a special place in my heart because I feel like it captures a special time. And sometimes I will put on the ornament in permanent marker like a keyword or something that will like remind me as to like what happened that year. One year there was, oh my gosh, it was the first Christmas that we moved here, to be honest. So we moved here into this new house, and we loved the house, but it costs more to live here than it did in our old house. When we went to move here, it depleted like all of our savings because we had to do a deposit plus the first month's rent plus the cost to connect your electricity, your gas, your everything, your cable, your internet, I mean your water. Like, I swear it's like, can you please, like, why do they have to charge so much just to connect? And we just moved 2 miles down the road. And not only that, our car broke down, and that cost about the cost that it was for the deposit, which the deposit is the same as the first month's rent. And we moved too on the first day of December of 2010. And so it was rough. It was really hard. And I remember thinking, are we even gonna like be able to have a Christmas? I remember I couldn't even afford to buy the ornaments that I would get for my kids because every last dollar that I had, I wanted it to be toward a gift for my children. I handmade ornaments. I took a Christmas card that a friend gave me, and it had on it 3 stockings on the cover of it. And I cut it up, and I had some extra scrap paper, and I had a little bit of cardstock, and so I cut up the little 3 stockings, and then I glued it and made it kind of look like a little scrapbooky. It actually didn't turn out too bad. I'm impressed. It turned out pretty good. But on the back of it I wrote, "A humble homemade Christmas, 2010." And while I understand that Christmas is not the end-all be-all, and if you don't get a million gifts for Christmas, that holds no bearing on the person that you are, I understand that. But at the same time too, I had 3 kids who were amped for Christmas, very excited for Christmas, and I wondered how we were gonna make that happen. Fortunately we did. It turned out to be fine. It wasn't a big Christmas, but it was a good Christmas, and it was another Christmas to help me remember that we are okay and that we're looked out for. One of my most memorable holiday moments was, how many years ago was that? My daughter was so small. I want to say she was like 3, so maybe that was like 2007-ish. We were at my husband's sister's home for Christmas. Everyone got to open their presents, and of course it was like wrapping paper flying everywhere. You know how like you see it in the cartoons? This is literally how it was, wrapping paper just flying everywhere. Like I was looking at the floor going, where are the gifts? All I see is wrapping paper. So my sister-in-law found her son sad, and she asked him, what's wrong? Why are you so sad? And he said, well, I was at church on Sunday, which I believe Sunday was like 2 days prior. So I think Christmas was on a Tuesday. And he said there was a new little girl there, and the teacher asked us what were we gonna do for Christmas. And she said that they weren't gonna do anything for Christmas because they didn't have any money. And he said he felt really bad, and as he's opening his presents, he felt bad that he had these gifts knowing that she wasn't gonna have much of a Christmas. This instantly had my sister-in-law taking action, and so she found out more about the family as much as she could, found out, I believe there were 3 kids, and we went to Walgreens, because Walgreens was the only store open at the time, and we bought all these gifts for the kids. And some of her boys also donated some of their gifts to give. My father-in-law and my brother-in-law went, I think, is that right, to go see this family, talk to them, and they were in a house and they had no furniture whatsoever. So they invited the family over to my in-laws' house to have Christmas dinner with them. And then during this time, we were wrapping up presents and putting them in this huge, I don't even know what the box was, it was a big, huge box, and we just filled it with presents for the kids. And then my father-in-law tells this man that we would like to help him make a Christmas for his kids. And we drop off the box, ring the doorbell, and run. Later on, we have them over for dinner. A few of us were in one room talking, and the little girl was there. And I don't know how we got on the subject, but she was saying that she was so grateful that Santa came. And she said that she was so grateful Santa came because she mentioned how Dad would keep praying, saying, please, please help Santa come to us, and please help give us a miracle. And I remember like fighting the tears so bad because I didn't want her knowing it was us that like helped participate in her Christmas, but feeling so humbled that I had that opportunity to do that for her and for her family. I didn't do much, but I felt grateful that I was able to do something. But I was truly ultimately grateful for my nephew and for his caring heart. After that, we were able to direct them towards a charity that would help them get furniture for their house as well. This was pretty much done mostly by my in-laws, but I was grateful, I guess, to help be a part of it some ways. When it comes to New Year's, I don't always do New Year's resolutions. I will instead, like if I feel like there's something to improve on, generally for the moment I'll just improve on it the next day. Like I'll just make up my mind that I need to improve on it, and then I will just instantly start doing it. That's kind of what I do. I don't necessarily make New Year's resolutions. I think last year I made a New Year's resolution. I can't remember what it is. Now that I'm thinking about it, what was my New Year's resolution? I'll have to like go back. I wonder if I did a video on it. But I don't have any like New Year's resolution plans for this year. I normally do it like when, a lot of times I will take December to like assess me and to assess the person I am and to see where I need to improve. Actually, I do remember my New Year's resolution from last year and I accomplished it. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I don't have any New Year's resolutions for this coming year. I am really enjoying life right now, and I'm really enjoying where I'm at. I'm not perfect. I will be the absolute first to tell you that. I'm a work in progress always. All the time, I'm a work in progress. But I really feel completely happy with where I'm at in life. And I'm really grateful for that. And I guess I found that in not waiting until the New Year's to make resolutions. That is it. That is my Christmas chit chat with you guys. I hope you guys are having wonderful holidays. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep following me, please subscribe. All my social media links are down below. But most importantly, y'all have a good day. Catch you on the flip. Bye.